Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, what is the main goal, one of the main goals for parenting? Raising honest children.
An emotionally healthy child.
Oh, I see what you went with that over there.
Title.
See, I was thinking that we were going to go with the title of today's podcast, but you went with the title of our book.
That's right.
That was tricky.
Okay. Well,
I tried to trick you and you tricked me. Charlie Chaplin. So, yes, that's the name of our book, Raising an Emotionally Healthy Child.
That's right.
We are so close to being finished with part 2. So close. It's taken a lot longer than we thought, but we've been remarkably busy.
Because
we have so much going on.
Because
there are people here at this office that just make us do so much stuff.
Thank you.
I don't know who it is.
No, I'm ready.
Diane. So,
must be.
Today's podcast is about raising an honest child.
That's right. One of the things we want with our children, when we talk about an emotionally healthy child, is a child who's honest.
Right. And this is an article written by Vanessa Lebeau. Lebeau?
I would say Lebeau.
Lebeau? B-U-E?
Yeah, I would say Lebeau.
Okay. And she is referred to as the baby scientist.
Right. She's on the faculty at Rutgers.
Oh,
she's an assistant professor, I think, at Rutgers University in the psychology department. And she's written this wonderful little article about raising a child who is honest. And she begins the whole thing by saying, 2 and 3 year old children cannot lie. Mm-hmm. Because lying takes a cognitive ability that they don't yet possess.
Right.
Okay.
It requires theory of mind.
That's right.
That they have not yet really fully developed.
That's right. And theory of mind doesn't develop until they're about 4 or 5.
Right.
Because they have to be able to imagine one thing but say another thing.
Right.
And when you're 2, you can't do that. When you're 2 or 3.
And all the while understand that the other person doesn't have as much information about it than you do.
That's right. Because when a child is 3, they think everybody thinks the way they do. They have exactly the same thoughts as I do.
Right.
By the time they're 4 or 5, they realize, but especially by the time they're 5, they realize that different people have different thoughts. Also, theory of mind is an attribution. Mm-hmm. You can attribute thoughts to others that may be different from your own.
Right.
And that's a fairly complex cognitive shift that occurs at about age 5.
Yeah.
So by age 5, kids learn how to lie.
Yeah. Okay.
So how do you prevent that?
Yeah. Okay. So she presents a variety of strategies for that. Now, of course, it's you have to begin with that understanding that you're just talking about.
Right.
The kids are born with the tendency to be honest.
Right. That's right.
They're not born to lie.
Yeah. It's they can't lie.
Right.
They don't have the cognitive capacity to lie till they get to a little bit older childhood.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some things that we need to think about when it comes to raising honest children.
Right, and I like her advice because it's pretty consistent with the kind of advice that we give, okay? And the first one is that...
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, go ahead.
Okay, and the first one is that when I was thinking about this the other day, this whole thing about George Washington and the cherry tree.
Yeah.
You heard about that when you were in school. We were told forever that that his dad wanted to know who cut down the cherry tree, and George Washington admitted that he cut down it. She said we need these kind of positive examples. Mm-hmm. That children's mental constructs, I don't know how else to say that, are partially formed by these positive examples, and one of the things that's left out of the George Washington story, and I don't even know whether we tell that story in schools anymore.
I don't know.
No. I mean, we grew up on George Washington. I mean,
right.
There were pictures of it in our heads about this. This is what you're supposed to do. We all revere George Washington, and this is what George Washington did. What's left out of that story is George Washington wasn't afraid of his father.
Right.
He wasn't afraid his father was going to kill him or beat him with a strap for cutting down the cherry tree.
Right,
okay?
right.
And that's the other part of this thing, that we want to give these positive examples, but what's left out is your children have to not be afraid to tell the truth.
Right.
Okay. Not be fearful of retribution.
Right.
Tell me the truth so I can, justify the beating that you're about to get.
That's true. And that gets into the second reason that she talks about. The first reason is just to be very clear with it. The first reason is, or the first thing is we need these positive as opposed to just relying on negatives.
Right.
Because we sometimes emphasize telling the truth with things like, the boy who cried wolf and Pinocchio and those kinds of things, where we're saying, okay, look what happens when people lie.
Right.
Instead, we need to say, here's positive examples of telling the truth.
Because the research that's been done suggests that kids who hear the positive examples are more honest than kids who hear negative examples.
Right. Okay. And so then the second part is that the kids need to know that there are positive outcomes that come from telling the truth.
That's right.
It's so frustrating when parents say, you need to tell me the truth, and then your punishment won't be as bad. It's like, okay, let me think about that for a few minutes.
I had to ponder that one.
Because
how am I going to lie my way out of this one?
You're saying that I'm going to be punished.
Right.
How do I get out of this?
That's right. And that's right.
Yeah.
And you're inviting another lie.
You are.
A better lie. A more sophisticated lie.
Very intricate lies.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, the third thing, of course, is being a good role model.
That's right.
Kids are more likely to do what we do as opposed to what we say.
That's right. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. And so we need to fix that by modeling appropriate behavior. So we model appropriate behavior by being honest.
That's right. Be honest.
When your kid asks you if you feel a certain way or if you're thinking a certain thing, be honest with them.
One of my kids 2 or 3 days ago asked me if I ever smoked weed.
Oh, yeah?
Wow. Talk about a high fastball.
Wow.
And so
you swung.
And so I said, wow, how do I answer this one? And my kids are teenagers.
Yeah.
And they said, Dad, did you ever smoke weed?
And, back in my day.
So they didn't have weed.
Back in my day, it was, no.
But those are the kind of questions that you're going to get.
You were honest with them.
And I had to be honest with them.
Yeah.
And that allowed us to have a very different kind of conversation.
Right.
Had I said no, my kids would have said, he's lying.
Oh, wait, you have?
If I would have said no, my kids would have said, he's lying.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's...
And then they won't believe anything else you say.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, as difficult as it is sometimes, you have to tell the truth.
And I use this and I know other psychologists and therapists are going to be aghast by this, but I use that sometimes in therapy. So when I'm talking with it, because sometimes patients come in and they call us Dr. Berney or Dr. Marshall or Dr. this, Dr. that. They think, they look at our degrees and things like that, and they think, this person, they were always good at school. They always, I don't mind telling people that, my first statistics class, I made a D in it.
Right.
And they kind of sit back and think, oh my gosh, so somebody who ends up, with their doctorate could have made a D in school. And then I follow that up, of course, with the idea that, so what I did was I had to retake the course and then I was able to work hard and I made an A the second time and then I did well in my graduate. But, to give off the impression that things have always been easy or I've always made the right choices or I've always made good decisions is artificial.
That's right.
At best. And it's a lie.
Right. And one of the things I think it's important for our children to see is they see us. My kids saw me after I had finished my education and after I was working. Okay, they didn't see when I was 12 and 13 and 15 and 17 and the many failures and disappointments and shortfalls that I had along the way.
Right.
Okay, they weren't aware of where this all started.
Right.
And so you have to be honest about who you are.
Right.
I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
You're right about those courses. I mean, my goodness. None of our lives are paved with that kind of success, or very few of us.
Right.
Usually it's ups and downs, and our kids need to know about our failures and our shortcomings as well as our successes, because they tend to look at us as only being successful.
Right.
that wasn't the case.
Right, absolutely. So
be honest with them.
So be honest. Give positive examples and let them know that there's positive outcomes from
That's
telling the
right,
truth.
and they don't have to fear telling the truth.
Right.
All
right. A few announcements.
Yes. We've
been making announcements all week. We'll make some more announcements. So by the time this podcast is posted, we will have already recorded for this week. So we will have recorded last night, I suppose, May 11th. We're going to record again next week, next Thursday. So that will be May 18th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to record the next event on episodes 5 and 6 of 13 Reasons Why. And so follow us on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere so that you can get the link to our YouTube event, and you can follow us, chat with us while we're recording. We love it. We love doing that. We're going to do a lot more of these, so definitely follow us.
I like this ability to
get a YouTube account. It's a free account, and if you already have a Google account, it comes as part of it. And so you can log into your YouTube account. That way you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get all of the announcements about these things, and it'll all be there. So. So definitely follow us for that. The second is the contest that's going on for our UK listeners. Over in the UK, we have a contest going on where you can win a device from Lumi, Lumie.com, and you can. They have these wonderful wake-up lights and lights for seasonal affective disorder and acne lights and all kinds of things. The wake-up lights are awesome because it's the way that your body's supposed to wake up with light as opposed to abrasive, loud noises.
I would love to have one of those.
Or the Chelsea theme song, whichever you choose to wake up to. I wake up to the Chelsea theme song. It just makes me smile first thing in the morning. It's what makes me love getting up in the morning. It's the Chelsea theme song. Or you can get a wake-up light from Lumi, and that will help you wake up in a more natural, easy way.
That's right.
More naturally. So, all right. But follow us on Twitter. It's Psychreg Podcast. Is the Twitter handle for the Psychreg Podcast, and you'll be able to get information about how to register. It's an event that goes, or a contest that goes through the month of May, and then we'll be awarding that.
Those are cool.
In June, I guess. So,
beginning of June.
So information will be is available
so
there.
So sign up for that. Yeah, that's worth it.
It's cool. So, all right. Of course, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, all the different places that you can follow us, and you will get lots and lots of information about all kinds of different things, and stay in touch with what we're doing. So, all right, until next time.
That's right.
Stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.